channel. It's been a long time since I posted, so I'm very excited and happy to finally get a chance to actually record a video for you guys. Today's video we're going to be talking about whether a Cane Corso is right for you. I get asked this question quite frequently by you guys. You're always asking whether, as a first-time owner, it's good to think about getting a Corso, or if your lifestyle fits the needs that a Cane Corso would have. So I just thought I would make this video to provide some clarity and just share my opinion on it, being a Cane Corso owner myself. First thing you need to ask yourself if you're considering getting a Corso is why. What is the reason that you're getting it? And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, if you are just completely in love with the breed because of their looks, because they look scary and intimidating, that is not reason enough. And I'm sure you guys have heard this said by many other people as well. The amount of time and dedication and training it takes to actually take care of this breed, if that is your reason, it is not worth it at all to get it just because of the looks. You are going to find yourself completely overwhelmed. There are plenty other dogs that you can get that are much easier to train. Now, I want to share my personal reason for why I got a Cane Corso. So my first Corso is Dante. He's in the back there somewhere. Peach isn't trying to be the center of attention. Girl, how you doing, girl? Yes, a very nice tug. Very nice. My fiance and I, who is now my husband at the time, decided that we wanted to get a dog, and we were also at the same time getting married and moving out of state and becoming homeowners. So we were moving to a state in which we had no immediate family nearby, and my husband's job entailed for him to travel quite often. And of course, this was before COVID, right? It was important for us to have a guardian breed, right? I was going to be alone at home a couple of times throughout the month, so I wanted to get a protective dog, a dog that was going to be aloof and wary of strangers and that was going to take care of me. So that is the reason we decided to go for a Corso. That is the main reason. Now, other things that we considered, because of course if we wanted a guardian breed, there are German Shepherds, there are all kinds of other dogs that have those similar qualities, right? But another thing that we took into consideration was our lifestyle. We aren't very active people. We aren't, you know, like getting up at 5 a.m. going on like a 1-mile jog. We're not those kind of people at all. So that kind of took out all like the kind of like German Shepherd type dogs, right? Because they actually do need more physical activity, right? And we didn't want to be the owners that would just kind of like leave our dog to run around the backyard. We wanted to be very involved. So right off the bat, that kind of took off all those dogs. So Corsos are actually very couch potato-y, as you can see. The second thing that you should consider if you are thinking about getting a Cane Corso is your experience with dogs in general. If you have never had a dog ever in your life, you should not get a Cane Corso as your first dog. I'm telling you, you are going to be, again, overwhelmed, don't know where to start. These dogs will literally step all over you if you don't set rules and structure from the beginning. So I'm sorry, not sorry really, I'm actually saving you if you are thinking about getting a Corso and you've never had a dog before. So I would not recommend for you to get a Cane Corso as a first time dog. Before, I have been a little bit more lenient on this just because of the amount of information there is nowadays, right? You can get so much on training just by going online, and it's just so much more easily accessible for you to get help on training now than 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So I was a little bit more lenient with this, like, okay, well, maybe if you are a first-time dog owner and you get a Corso and you have like a good support system and you're doing your research and yada yada, you know, yes, maybe, but I feel like it would be way too many things that would have to kind of fall in place for you to have a successful upbringing with your dog. So my opinion on that has changed. As I was saying before, I was a little bit like, yeah, maybe, but now it's no. And another thing is that while I was working and getting certified to be a dog trainer, I did come across a couple of Cane Corsos and owners, right? I came across Corsos that had a very good foundation, and then I came across Corsos that had awful foundation and were pretty much running their house and just had become a huge problem for their owners. And those owners were usually first-time dog owners. So because of that as well, as a witness to what can be a Cane Corso without the proper training and experience, I do not recommend for you to get a Corso if you have no experience with dogs at all. If you have had a dog, maybe like a working breed dog, and you just know the basics, right? You know that you're supposed to teach your dog manners. You know just basic household rules that your dog should have. You know how to pick up on your dog's body language. You know what to do if your dog is feeling uncomfortable. If you've had all of those experiences already, that is going to help you tremendously with this breed. And the problem is that if you are an inexperienced dog owner and you get something like a Shih Tzu or a Poodle, those are little dogs. So little dogs equal little growls, little barking, little snaps, right? If they get upset or whatever. And most of the times when that behavior happens with a little dog, it's laughed at, right? It's like, okay, no big deal. But when it happens with a dog like this, everybody gets nervous. It's a huge deal, and it's just not good. You do not want to have a 130-pound dog that is misbehaved, that is pushing people around, that is growling to get things. It is just going to put you into a lot of trouble, and it's going to give you a really hard time. So this is why having experience is so important. And even with having experience, there are a lot of things that can happen. It's better the more experience that you have, the more support system that you have, the better chances you'll have to ensuring that your Cane Corso is going to be happy and is going to be a dog that is going to represent the breed proudly, right? And not become, you know, the next pit bull that have this whole stereotype surrounding them. So that went on a little bit of a rant, but experience is super, super, super important. Now the next thing that you have to consider if you're getting a Cane Corso is your financial stability, and whether you are financially capable of taking care of a breed like this. Corsos are expensive dogs to have. They're big dogs. They eat a lot. Vet bills are something that you're going to have to consider, especially once you get your puppy home and they need to get their shots and they need their checkups. Are you going to ear crop, right? Are you going to dock the tail? I believe that Dante's ear crop was around $800. Dante ended up having epilepsy, right? So we have to pay for his medical bills, right? We have to pay for his medicine. We're fortunate enough to be able to change his diet to a raw diet just to help him control his seizures. You don't want to get a Corso and then have to, on top of having the responsibility of training and raising this dog, also need to worry about whether you're going to be able to make ends meet, or God forbid, you're going to have to make a decision of, do I have to put my dog down because I can't afford the surgery or medication or whatever. And I know it sounds pretty dark, but I'm just being very frank and honest with you. It's not like people, right? Vets are like, you either pay or we have to put your dog down. So another thing that you have to consider that comes into this finances umbrella is a trainer, right? You're gonna look for a dog trainer if you need help in getting him socialized, or if you need tips, if you want to purchase any courses. Those are all things that you are going to have to think about, which, by the way, if you're, yes, since we're talking about courses, the courses over at Fenrir are amazing. If you guys are interested in that, I'll leave the links in the description. It is just something that I highly recommend if you're thinking about getting a Corso, just to give you an idea of what the training is going to entail. This is the last thing to consider, and I think one of the most important ones as well. You have to think about your lifestyle too. These dogs are guarding dogs, right? So they love to be with their owners. So if you're going to be gone 12 hours a day, I don't recommend you get a Corso. Let's say you just want to get a Corso, but the rest of your family doesn't. I also wouldn't recommend for you to get it, because it is very important that everyone in the family or in the household is on board with training. Reason being is that these dogs are very dominant, right? So if they are given the chance, they will take advantage of the person who is not, you know, 100% on board with training. They won't respect that person. And again, you don't want this big dog growling at you because you sat on the couch, right? And it's their couch. If you have a home with little kids, right? Corsos are great family dogs, but they are also very large. I have a 6-year-old brother, and he is always being supervised if he is ever with the dogs, right? We're always telling him how to pet Dante and Peach. Even though they're very good dogs and they're very obedient, right? You have to teach your kids how to treat a dog as well. It's not fair if you don't. It's not fair to the dog or the kid, and it's not going to be good for their relationship, right? You have your 2-year-old or your baby crawling on the floor and the dog is running in the house and bumps into the 2-year-old, and then the 2-year-old falls, starts crying, oh my god, what a bad dog. It's not a bad dog, you know? If you didn't teach your dog that they shouldn't be running in the house, or if you don't have a baby gate, then it's your fault. You have to be understand that you are going to be held accountable, right? If you are the adult in the house, you need to make sure that your home is harmonious, having kids and the dogs around. That concludes today's video. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye. Say bye, Peach. Peach, say bye. Here, come closer to the camera. Dante, you are a sleepy pants.